We've been talking about how sensory words help us. Can somebody tell me how a sensory or what a sensory word might be?
Like an adjective?
Okay. And what does it do for us?
It describes, it tells you what you see, feel, or
Exactly. That's it. Our sensory words help us to
taste,
that's right.
hear, see.
Very good. So when we read a story, we're reading different sensory words that help us to imagine what's going on in the story. And today we're going to talk about how those sensory words help us in a setting. Can someone tell me what a setting is? Dakota?
A place and time of the story?
A place and time of the story. Exactly. So why would we want to use sensory words in describing a place or time?
Because without them, the story would be really boring.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do today, as a way to help you, I am going to read aloud a few paragraphs that I have taken from our book, House of Hades. Although, what I have done is I have removed most of the sensory words. So I want to read it to you, and I want you to tell me what you think. During the third attack, Hazel was nearly hit by a large rock. She looked into the fog. When the ship's alarm went off, "Turn right," said Nico. Leo turned the wheel. The Argo 2 turned left. Hazel looked over the rail. An object was moving in her direction. She saw the large object heading in their direction and ducked. The object passed by closely. It hit the foremast, causing it to break, and Nico fell on the ground. The large rock fell. "Nico!" Hazel moved over by him as Leo straightened out the ship. "I'm fine," Nico said. She helped him up, and they moved to the bow. Hazel looked out. Through the clouds, she saw the tops of the mountains below them. Standing at the bottom was the mountain god, one of the Numo Montanum. Jason had called them, or Aura in Greek. Now, what do you think about that story?
It really sound right.
What did you see in your mind? Anything?
No.
Was it hard to picture what was going on?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to read you Rick Riordan's version. And as we know from reading the other Rick Riordan books, they're very, what?
Action.
Action.
And they have sensory words.
They use sensory words. That's right. Okay, so let me read it to you. And then I want you to really listen closely as I do. And I want you to think about the different sensory words that you're hearing as I read, so that you can maybe give me a few examples in a few moments. Hazel. During the third attack, Hazel almost ate a boulder. She was peering into the fog, wondering how it could be so difficult to fly across one stupid mountain range when the ship's alarm bells sounded. "Hard to port," Nico yelled from the foremast of the ship. Back at the helm, Leo yanked the wheel. The Argo 2 veered left as its aerial oars slashed through the clouds like a row of knives. Hazel made the mistake of looking over the rail. A dark, spherical shape hurled toward her. She thought, "Why is the moon coming at us?" Then she yelped and hit the deck. The huge rock passed so close overhead it blew her hair out of her face. Crack! The foremast collapsed, sending sails, spars, and Nico all crashing to the deck. The boulder, roughly the size of the pickup truck, fell off into the fog like it had important business elsewhere. "Nico!" Hazel scrambled over to his side as Leo brought the ship level. "I'm fine," Nico muttered, kicking folds of canvas off his legs. She helped him up, and they stumbled to the bow. Hazel peeked over more carefully this time. The clouds parted just long enough to reveal the top of the mountain below them, a spearhead of black rock jutting from the mossy green slopes. Standing at the summit was a mountain god, one of the Numina Montana. Jason had called them, or Aura in Greek. Whatever you called them, they were nasty. Okay.
I like that version better.
You like that version better?
I like that version
Can
better.
someone give me some examples of sensory words that were used to describe this setting?
When the alarm blared.
The alarm blared, so you knew that something big was going on.
when the mask collapsed.
Sierra?
When Hazel almost ate the boulder.
Exactly. So the line that Hazel almost ate the boulder, was that better than Hazel almost got hit by a boulder that passed close by? Does that make you really what? What does that do for you?
Because this version is better than the other one because it tells you more about it than just
Behind Hazel almost ate a boulder is creating a mental movie inside of your head.
Okay, so you can see it in your head.
yes.
How about some of the other lines? How about this one? The Argo 2 veered its aerial oars, slashing through the clouds like a row of knives. What do you envision when you hear
You
that?
can just
A row of
imagine
knives
it.
cutting clouds in half.
Okay,
Like you can just imagine it. In
you
your
can
head.
imagine it in your head. That's right. What is that? What are they describing? What does
They're
the boat
describing
look
the
like?
Action. They're
But what
describing-
does the boat look like?
Like
I mean, is it just a
Like
plain
it's a-
boat, like has a motor
No.
at the back?
It's,
What does it
you
have?
can imagine
Aerial
it-
oars. What does
You
that
can
describe?
imagine
describe?
it like it's flying and it
one of
has
those old timey Viking boats that have all the oars.
Very
coming
good.
off
So
of them.
they're really using
I
them.
thought it was one of those paddle boats.
No, aerial oars like knives is like
Viking.
like knives slashing through the air. How about the boulder, roughly the size of a pickup truck, sailed off into the fog like it had important
That's
business elsewhere?
a-
What is that? What picture do you see of that?
A boulder shaped like a pickup truck flying through the air.
A big boulder the size of a pickup truck. Exactly. So compared to if we had just said
A giant boulder.
an object or boulder was moving in her direction, that doesn't give you near as much
It doesn't
idea.
give you information
So you're
about
getting-
it, what's happening.
Exactly. So you're learning a lot more about what?
About
What do these
what's-
words describe for you?
It's describing
Describe
what is
what's
actually in
going
the
on.
book.
And where?
It's in. It's
Where's the
descri-
story taking place?
a mountaintop.
And that is your
Setting.
setting. Okay. So what I want from you, if you don't mind, is I want you to stop for just a minute. And I want you to think about very closely a story that you could write using sensory words to describe the setting. If you're having any trouble coming up with something, I can give you a start, like give you a place. But do you have some place in mind?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Sierra, go ahead.
Home.
Okay, can you use sensory words to describe home like you would use it in a story? Okay, go ahead.
My house is big, and on the inside it has lots of room, and you can run around and play.
That's pretty good. Dakota, do you have one? Okay, what's yours?
The moon.
The moon. Okay, can you use some sensory words to describe the story you would tell about the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
As I stepped off my shuttle and looked around, I saw the moon was covered with millions of craters as if a million giants took tap dance lessons on the moon.
I like that. Millions of giants taking tap dance lessons on the moon. That is such a cool way to describe the craters. Okay, how about you?
The race car track.
Racetracks. Okay, can you describe me the racetrack?
I was sitting in the stands waiting for the cars to start. I hear the engines roar when the race begins to go. I saw that my favorite race car driver, Jimmy Johnson, was in the lead. And as it comes up to the last lap, he wins. And he does a victory lap around the track.
Okay. Can you tell me what it might sound like or smell like or feel like there while you're at the racetrack?
I can smell burnt rubber and the popcorn from the snack bars and the hot dogs. And
Okay. So that's good. So y'all all have an idea of what we're going to be doing. So as your assignment for today, what I want you to do is go back and I want you to try to write me a short story describing the setting using as many sensory words so that you can help me to, how did you put it, Dakota?
Create a mental movie in your head.
Create a mental movie in my head. Can y'all do that for me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.